Hi there, everybody. Welcome. My name is Krista. I'm Little Wren. If you haven't heard of me before, then that's okay because I'm only new to YouTube. And firstly, I just want to give you a little plug towards one of my WordPress sites. It's called littlewren.org. And that is my website where I've got a lot of channeled written messages that are very poetic in nature. They are very they're all channeled messages, many of them. So there's a huge menu on that website. Like, it's absolutely huge. It looks quite overwhelming. I have no expectation that you go through and read every single thing on that menu. It's meant to be a little bit dizzying. It's designed so that you can learn intuitively. And what the intention is that you look at the menu and you allow your eye just to be drawn to whatever pops out to you. And what I would encourage you to do is to go in and look at that, click on that link, that heading that comes up for you in the menu, and that is the message that is meant for you. It is very poetic. Everything that I have a tendency to do comes out in quite like a parable type of a way, a story. It's like a narrative. There's a lot of images that I receive, and that is an example for you to learn something about yourself, something that Spirit's trying to deliver a message for you. It has been a little while since I've posted on YouTube, probably a little bit longer than I'd like to. I actually did record a message earlier, but I actually felt that I needed to pull back my energies somewhat, and so I didn't post it. So anyway, I just felt, as I was kind of preparing, I got pulled this morning to come and it's been a lot more gentle, the energy that I'm feeling when I need to come to the table and do a reading. Often for myself, it's like really been intense, but things have really settled down a lot for me. So this morning, I started really thinking, citrine was coming into my mind. I've got a little citrine, this is the only one I have, but a friend, Cindy, she just got delivered a whole heap of crystals, and my mind this morning was really focusing on that citrine that I saw, and I just kept being drawn. I just kept thinking how beautiful it was. And then I kept looking at this kind of orangey yellow texture and thinking about my illustration that I still haven't completed, and this orangey yellow color kept coming forward, and then I started thinking a lot about power. So this morning, I think that's kind of the heading. So I've lit some sandalwood, some incense this morning, and I've just been really drawn to bergamot and ylang ylang, and it's all about, I think, the solar plexus and empowerment. Today I started really processing and thinking about power. So on that note, we'll just start doing my big tarot. And I will try and shuffle again. Sorry, when I do that, see it moves my laptop because I don't have a separate camera yet at this stage. I know exactly what I've got to get. It's just, divine timing is everything, and when Spirit allows me to have the funds, the finances to get it, then it will happen. So yeah, I'm certainly not monetized at this stage. I don't have enough subscribers or watchers at this stage. I'm only new, and that's okay. I'm not really entirely in it for the money. Although at some point I think it's important that this does start to have its own little harvest. So We'll see how that goes. The littlewren.org site is free, and at the moment, apart from potentially in the future selling some merchandise, which I've got some ideas about, it will remain free. Yeah, so enjoy it, use it, heal yourselves through it. Really encourage that for you. Okay, so we'll just go with what's fallen out at the moment. Now, this is something for me. This is my own personal way of reading tarot. Is that whatever falls out, wherever it lands, is important. I tend to leave it where it lies. What's kind of cool at the moment is that it is facing the camera a little bit better, so that you can see it better, so that's nice, instead of just having it fall towards me. I do try and start with the first card that falls out, but whatever I feel intuitively guided is what I follow with. So I am here also to help you learn how to trust your own intuition. This is just I guess a teaching time for you if you've been drawn here to learn how to read the tarot and learn how to trust your own intuition. So yeah, I will hopefully just guide you through that. If you have any more questions, by all means, please watch the other videos that I've posted, and you'll get an even greater picture of what I'm about, how I learn, what I'm here for, and also just to be an example of how you can get into the tarot and start to trust what spirit is guiding you. So what I read is what I read, but more importantly, it's more about trusting yourself, trusting what spirit is telling you, and how to understand what intuition is. So often intuition is something simple as that gut feeling, that your natural reaction, what you're saying, what you're touching, what you're feeling, what you're speaking, smell, all that clear kind of experiences that many psychics have, and just to learn how it is that spirit is speaking to you. So not just to me, I receive a message, but it's more important, in my opinion, that you are learning about who you are, and not really just to trust what I'm saying, because I might be saying something, and if it's not quite resonating for you, then I would rather that you trust yourself firstly and take what I say as second. Spirit can use anything, anytime, anywhere, and really it's just being open to the message that you're receiving. So yeah, we'll keep going. So I'm going to start with this first card that fell out. Page of Cups in reverse. This is the second time he's come up for my last reading. I did have a reading, actually I've had two readings kind of before, but I didn't post them, and I just feel like there was some reasons for that, but we'll just keep going. So this is very, interestingly, very similar to what we had in the last time that we did a reading. So we have our Page of Cups in reverse, and I'll just show you that. So Cups always generally refers to emotions, love, emotional fulfillment, and all that kind of thing. Page, like you can see him, he's all in blue, he's got the ocean behind him, and there's a little fish in there. There's a lot of Pisces. You know, when you think of fish, you think Pisces, and Pisces, of course, is that water sign, and of course, always related. Water is usually blue. Water is often related to emotion. So cups always generally refer to your emotional, I guess, well-being, your emotional offers, love, and emotional feelings, abundance in that regards. This page, now pages obviously can be a younger person, or it can be someone who's just not quite emotionally mature. And yeah, so that's just a little basic reading on what a page and cups is. So in the upright position, it's someone who's in a generally more positive, or it could be a present position. Reversed can be someone who's very disconnected emotionally, or it can be someone who is very sorrowful. When a cup is upside down or tipped over, we know that there's despair, there's a lacking, it's a lack card. It could also be a past energy. That just depends on where the cards lie and what that means. So yeah, so the Page of Cups in reverse. And the first time I saw this with my other reading, I just felt this overwhelming sadness, and to me that's what I'm looking at. Generally a masculine energy. Of course, when we're talking about masculine and feminine, it does not have to refer to a gender. It is somebody who holds more of a masculine energy over a over a feminine energy. So you can be a male that has more feminine energy, and you can be a female that has more masculine energy. So it is always referring to that, and I will simply refer to them as a masculine person. Whether they are male or female is irrelevant. Okay, so this is up to you and what you feel and how you are interpreting that. So again, I'm going to say that it's a masculine person, a masculine energy. They're in either despair, sadness, loss, lack. And to me, despite the fact that this is, sometimes we can read the highest card that's up the top as being the overarching energy, but it's also, you've got your foundation as well, someone who's basically experiencing something that's quite difficult. We've got the Judgment card, which is in reverse. We've got the Six of Pentacles, which is in the upright, which is actually, that's a very positive card. I was just saying to some friends earlier, we were talking about this card, and so it's still very much a current energy. This is someone who is balanced. They have kept a pentacle for themselves. I'll show you this card. Okay. They've kept the pentacle for themselves, and they're giving to people, but they're giving according to, in a very balanced way, where they're not starving. You can see they're really well dressed. This is a person who's like quite wealthy, they're abundant, and yet despite the fact they're abundant, they've kept one pentacle only for themselves, because obviously that's all they need, and then they're actually giving the rest away to people. They're giving more than what they are keeping for themselves. They keep giving more to people who are starving, and yet this, even though they're giving three pentacles over here, this person's still begging. This person's getting two of pentacles, and they're still, again, they're tattered, they're starving, and this to me is just coming through now. It's kind of a really solid representation that sometimes we can give and give and give to people, and yet they still are hungry for more, you know. This gentleman is a very balanced person, and I think he's very aware of that, and he's giving them more than what they need. he is someone who is so well dressed and preserved and taken care of. He's wealthy in these people's eyes, yet he's only got one pentacle. He's only keeping one pentacle. Now, they are all his, but he's keeping one pentacle to himself. Sorry if you can see that. He's keeping one pentacle to himself, and he's giving 5 away. So it's really a really great lesson. I'm really starting to love this card because he's someone who knows who they are. They're very balanced and they give equally and appropriately. So yeah, really beginning to love this card. The 3 of Pentacles here, it's interesting, we've got quite a lot of Pentacle cards, let's just talk about this one for a minute. We've got 3 people. We've got 2 people who are clearly kind of apparently paying someone to do some work for them. They're giving the orders, they're directing. There's 2, I guess you could say, looks like a married couple, almost, although one of them looks like a priest, a monk. So if they're not married, could be a nun and a monk, not sure. But they seem to be giving directions in order to build something. This is a working together card. I don't know if it's still truly balanced. When is 3? 3, I guess, is a balance. You've got your triune kind of mentality. And yeah, but really there's only one person working here. Here's someone who's giving directions and guidance, but you've only got one person kind of doing the work. But this is in reverse. So there's been a breakdown in maybe a community, breakdown in understanding, or maybe there's unbalance here where someone has truly been doing all the work and then maybe other people haven't. So there's, to me, when I look at this, I kind of think this potentially can be an abusive card, an abuse of power, really. Someone who is, either taking too much, giving too little. It's very much the opposite. And this is a 6 and this is a 3. So we were to look at our numbers, it's like a half. Something's very unbalanced about the give and the take and the power dynamics in this card, especially when it's in reverse. When it's together, everyone's kind of like, yeah, it's fair. But when it's in reverse, there's something very unfair about this situation. So what I'm beginning to see is that, I don't know if this is the same energy. I'm beginning to think that maybe there's a sense of this person. Sometimes when we look at where the cards are, if you kind of flip them in different ways, it's like they could be looking at each other. He's almost looking down at this card. This one's looking at his own cup, and yet there's a sense of reflection. There has been a very powerful something, I almost want to say injustice, which makes sense over here. It's interesting when I look at this over here. I'm just going to move this, even though this was like over here and looking a little bit different. Some reason, this is how I'm feeling pulled to pull this together, is that you've got this one person who's very balanced, and yet there's been a judgment, or maybe there's just been an incorrect judgment, seeing it's in reverse, and of things that have been going really wrong around this person. It's like this is swirling around this person, and this person has managed to maintain their balance and in their integrity and who they are, despite of who is around them and all the incorrect, the judgments that have been made on this person. This person could have been criticized, betrayed, manipulated emotionally. used for their pentacles. You know, maybe this person's the worker. Maybe this person is this person. And really starting to understand that he overgave and yet it's been abused. So this is very much about, again, when I'm thinking about what I was talking about at first, the citrine is a self-power. This is understanding, someone who's come to understanding of who they are and what they have given. And despite the fact that they've given and given and given, too much maybe, things that didn't need to be deserved, they understand that now, that they have given enough, and that despite the fact that these people feel hard done by, they've been given more than what this person kept for themselves. And yet there's something about here that I'm really starting to feel that there has been injustice, a false, when judgment is right, this person can judge rightly, but they're seeing that people around them, whatever's been swirling around this person, there has been incorrect judgments made by these people that are around them. And yet they have remained stable, solid, because they know the truth. They understand what's been happening, despite all these things. I just keep getting injustice. This is not the justice card, and yet he is balancing this out very carefully. He is standing in judgment. When this gentleman is standing here with his balancing scales, he is calling out these people and he can look at the judgments that maybe he made. Maybe he had hope. I'm looking at that like, maybe I shouldn't have given these people so much because they really maybe didn't deserve it. So I really just think that's kind of the message this morning. And I don't want to overcomplicate that. I'm finding that my readings are, again, quite simple. I tend to only be getting about 4 cards on average. My normal readings have cards everywhere when it's for me or if it's somebody else, and they tend to just fall out and go everywhere. And it's nice that they're becoming more simplified, especially for YouTube. So, yeah, I can really feel that this person, when I think about personal power, if we go back to what I started with the solar plexus, the solar plexus really is that empowerment energy, that doing things that are good for the self, being satisfied that they've acted justly, being satisfied that, you know, they don't have to feel guilty. You know, these people might start making them feel, trying to put shame and guilt and like, you have so much and you need to give more and all this kind of stuff. And that's nonsense. These people need to go and get a job. Go and get a job, or go and work through the healing that you need to go and work through. It's not up to someone to do the work for them. This person's being generous to help them get a start out, to raise them up, to give them the fuel and the teaching that they need in order for them to be sustaining for themselves, to go and do the work that you need to do the healing that you need to do. It is not up to one person to do all the work. It is up to you, up to the one person, which is you, okay? They've done their work. All right, this person's worked hard for where they're at. This person deserves to have the accolades and the everything that's coming to them. And they're allowed to be seen and heard and all that kind of stuff. It's okay. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I might just pull, I'm going to see if Spirit will do this, pull some energy of maybe how these people are feeling about the fact that this person may be just calling them out on it. So I have some these cards. These are, I can't remember, some of my twin tarot oracle. They're really just major arcana, and they're kind of positive or negative of major arcana. So we'll just see what's happening here. We've got 3 cards for this one. Yeah. All right. So here where there's the 3, I'm seeing this is quite a toxic energy. This is the Chariot, but this is the negative Chariot. You can see this is someone who is almost like coming full charge ahead, because they're like, I kind of feel like they want to say, F you, how dare you, you know. And of course, we have the Temperance card. This is on the side. So to me, it's kind of like, this is almost a panic, like, I'm coming for you, I don't care what you think. And that's quite a toxic energy. And yet, kind of on that process down here, this is almost like a process of alignment. So for you, it's on the side. So this can be like a current energy, something that as this person is calling people out, it changes the energy that happens for them, whether they like it or not. When you change your energy, people don't have a choice but to change theirs towards you also. It's either that or the divine will just remove them from you. It's a kind of a rule of thumb that as energy changes, it's that, what do you call it? It's that law where that you cause and effect, butterfly effect, whether someone knows it or not, it's irrelevant. If you change your energy, it causes a ripple effect to everybody else that's surrounding you who is within your energy. So we have the Temperance card, which is actually really beautiful. This is someone who's actually being forced to find their balance. And interestingly enough, I've got the positive card that has come out on top of that behind it. So it's like this, but in this way it's in reverse. So the initial action was that this person was like, oh, quick, I have to fix this, but it's not in the right energy, not in the right energy. So that has caused them to suddenly realize that they need to come in this energy. And because they're now becoming more balanced within themselves, they've realized they have to come correctly. However, the reality is that for them to come correctly, they're on pause. They're having to pause. So this is how it's come. This is a positive. This should be a really positive card. This is how this person needs to come. But in order for them to come, they're looking here and going, I have to come correct, but I don't know what that looks like. So there's a pause on that energy. So that's a current kind of a situation. I don't know if I need to go further into these. It doesn't feel like I just felt, so right now, just so you know, I felt like, oh, maybe I'm going to come and do some readings, but as soon as it's fallen, the cards have fallen just on this one. And I feel like really that's the message. For now, that's the message. I might just get an unspoken oracle and we'll just see what they have to say. When you look at the moon, know I am thinking of you. Sorry, my hand gets a bit shaky sometimes. And that really makes sense, doesn't it? So this could be a lover. Well, it is very loving. That's definitely an energy. So all I'm going to say is that there's definitely a pause here where this person is reflecting. They're certainly reflecting that as they've been healing and kind of reflecting and looking at themselves, oh, okay, this is actually really beautiful. And you know what? When people do us wrong, no matter what, when they come correct, when they really see the error of their ways, it's easy to forgive and to let so many burdens go. Although I think when you heal from things, just a little side note, when you heal from hurt and pain of being mistreated, you don't need them to come forward, because you don't have that. When you talk about power, forgiveness isn't necessary when you've forgiven and healed from wounding. But you can sit there and still be like, yeah, I gave enough, but I'm going to pull back my energy now. You can no longer have what I gave you as much before, because I'm going to help you stand on your feet by actually taking this away. And this is really confirming what I said before about the temperance energy, which is a Sagittarius energy. And that is, they're saying, I'm ashamed of what I've done. So again, there's reflection. And this is really the greatest outcome you can ask for, when someone acknowledges imbalance of giving, when someone hasn't given to a relationship or whatever it is, when someone suddenly realizes what's been going on, and they come and they're pausing because they're like, I want to come correctly because I know what I did, and there's desire to change that and come correct. That is simply beautiful. So that is the reading that I'm going to give you today, and I really hope that for you, whatever that energy is, stay balanced, stay kind. You've not done anything wrong, but sometimes you do have to pull back your energy, and you do have to love yourself and really look at, have you done the wrong thing? And if you can conclusively say you have not done the wrong thing, you are happy with all your actions, then stay solid and be patient, and that's okay. You've done the right thing. So yeah, on that note, I really wish you well, and maybe a little prayer card before we go. I really feel like I just had a really strong Australian accent. I know that might sound strange. For the World Wide Web, I am Australian, yes. And I'm hoping to get a nice setup one day, but for now I'm being called just to use my kind of dining room table, which one day I think I'm going to paint it white. But I want to strip it back. I've never really liked the top of it, but I love the table overall, but I'm always someone who likes a project. Whoop. Interestingly, when we're looking at pentacles, so we've got money, and the prayer, this is a prayer card that the divine kind of would like us to encourage to invite healing within. All my finances are now in divine order. Love itself knows my needs and is the source for all. I needn't cling to gain or fear loss. Every need will be met through offering all to the divine. And I think that's really cool, and I think this person is very aware of this. And again, this is for someone who has overgiven. This person is clearly overgiven. And this is about the body card. Show me, divine, how to love and fully care for this body. Please give me the radiant miracle of accepting my body as it is. And yeah, I'm going to put that here. Maybe I'll put this here because it's for both of us. Both of us here. I said us. Now, to be sure, any message that is here that I deliver to you, please know that that's very vulnerable. It's a vulnerable thing for me to do, because whatever I read here is not only for you, but it is for me also. And these are things that I'm certainly working through. So I'm giving you the reading that's not only about me, but it is also for you, in whatever way that comes across. So I give this to you with all the love and light and blessing that I can possibly give you, that you are working through healing, that you're learning as we do this together, and you're coming into your power, you're coming in to know who you are, and you can confidently move through whatever arises, all right? So I love you. I wish you well. Don't forget to have a look at my littlewren.org site and subscribe. Hit the alert bell so you can get the notifications when I do upload. I upload according to when Spirit calls me to do so. And don't forget to use the littlewren.org site so that you can continue the journey, whether I'm here or whether I upload on YouTube or not. There's still work you can do, and Spirit will guide you should you just open yourself to Him, to the spirit world, and to the guidance that they give you. All right, take care, and I love you.